Shri Etirajaya Vivekananda Surya Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamini Tapaharani. Our dear respected Principal Dr. Tirunavakar, my dear Swami Shukadevanandaji, dear Swami Muktimayanandaji, other coordinators, distinguished professors, heads of the departments and others associated with this evening college, and finally my dear students who are the cynosure of this evening's function. First of all, I am extremely happy to be here in my own alma mater. It's close to 50 years since I left this college, but the memories come back flooding again and again. And I'm extremely happy to see the wonderful developments that have been brought about here. I know what was then, and I'm seeing what has happened now. It's largely because of the enormous effort which Swami Shukadevanandaji, our principal, Dr. Tirunavakar, Muktimayanandaji, all of them have put their shoulders together and come out with some wonderful projects. It's all for the benefit of you. But you know, we have very little time, we have to rush to the airport. But in the brief time I will be with you, I want to draw your attention to something very foundational, very fundamental to your life. There are colleges and colleges. What is the difference in being a student of this college in the name of Swami Vivekananda? I earnestly request you to really gather some facts, some information, some details about Swami Vivekananda's life. I am saying this for your own interest. Swami Vivekananda was one of the greatest patriots to have ever been born in this country. Mahatma Gandhi visited Belur Math in 1921 and wrote in the visitor's book, after visiting the departments, etc., the room where Swami Vivekananda stayed, he was taken to, and he wrote that, I have gone through the works of Swami Vivekananda, and after reading them, my love for my country has become thousandfold. This is what Mahatma Gandhi wrote. So you can imagine what a great patriot he was. And then, you know, that brings us to the question, how do you connect yourself to Swami Vivekananda? What is the link between you and him? You have come to a college which has been set up in his name, in his honor. Are you going to just pursue your academics, take your degrees and walk out of this college? Or are you going to get some other value addition to your life? Please remember that. I think, you know, close to 2,500 students are studying this evening college, and probably around 2,000 of you are pursuing BCom courses. It's a good course. There are a lot of prospects. But always remember that life does not end by mere academics alone. There is a life far beyond academics. Today you are sitting in such a good college, you are having such facilities. Remember the enormous amount of sacrifices so many others of our countrymen have made to make this possible for all of you. Remember that every farmer who commits suicide is contributing in some way or other for your education. All the laborers, those who build the building, the lab assistants, many others, the sweepers, the gardeners, the watchmen, the office clerks, everyone, not only were professors and others, all have contributed, are contributing enormously. If you remember that, you would never ever be completely selfish. And not only that, education, Swami Vivekananda defines as the manifestation of perfection already in man. What does this mean? What is the perfection that Swami Vivekananda is talking about? How is that going to manifest? Do you hope to manifest that perfection just by getting a BCom degree or getting a job after that? Yes, all of you need degrees, need jobs, do all that, do comforts of life. But remember that life has far greater dimensions, far more important things than mere degree or a job. Because in your own interest I am saying, be practical. Not every one of you is going to land up a good job. You might have got admission here, even if you walk out with a BCom degree. Are you sure that every one of you is going to get a good job? What are you going to do if that option is not available to you? That is where Swami Vivekananda's idea of perfection really comes into operation. He says that each one of you, each one of us, every human being is endowed with such enormous possibilities, enormous knowledge, power, glory, and ever so many good things. And he says the primary aim, the primary purpose, the chief goal of education is to help students manifest this extraordinary power in each and every one of them. Are you doing something in that direction? I'm sure you are attending some religious classes now and then. Maybe the Swamis talk to you, but just it's only a beginning. You must go to them. Visit Swami Vivekananda. Read some of his books. What does he say about education? What is his thoughts on education? What is his concern about students? Why I am saying, there have been any number of instances where people who are not academically great went on to achieve extraordinary things in life. Who was Steve Jobs? He was a college dropout. He was found unsuitable for a college degree, and that is what they said. But he went on to establish, you know what he did? The revolution he brought about in computers. So, what I'm saying is, you must have a totally different idea, approach to yourself, about yourself. You must think that I am not pursuing a degree. What are my other special aptitudes, special interests? In what way can I manifest this extraordinary talent, power, glory, knowledge which Swami Vivekananda talks about? I will share with you a real life incident. There was a student by name Manjula. She was one of the students of one of the degree colleges in Bangalore. All our professors came and told the principal, sir, this Manjula is so restless. Absolutely, we can't teach her. You must give her TC and send her away. But this principal was somehow, probably he was deeply influenced by Swami Vivekananda. He said, let me talk to her. He talked to Manjula, called her and said, Manjula, I am going to visit your house. She became even more nervous because she said, what he's going to tell my parents? Perhaps not only TC, I am going to be heaped with a lot of bad remarks, bad reports about my behavior in the college. She was trembling. When he visited his house, he only spoke very generally and also nice things about Manjula. Incidentally, he happened to see a number of paintings on the wall. He asked, who did all those paintings? The parents said they're all done by Manjula. He asked Manjula, do you have more such paintings? Sir, I have plenty. I have bundled them up in a box. They are lying. He said, you bring them. I will arrange an exhibition for you in the college. This Manjula, she did a solo exhibition in the college. It was so deeply appreciated by all the staff, the professors, the students, and everybody. Manjula became a celebrity overnight. The girl who was found restless, not useful in the college, suddenly professors started admiring her and asking her suggestions on many other matters. She was found extremely capable in the matters of organization and so on. Not only that, because of the positive encouragement she got from the professors, she went on to do her graduation properly. Some 15 or 20 years later, when this principal had retired, someone said that, sir, someone has come to see you, and he asked that person to be brought in. A lady came. He said, sir, can you recognize me? He said, no. Sir, I am your Manjula. I went on to study at the London School of Arts. I graduated very well from there. I got a job in the Ministry of HRD in the Arts Division. I am a joint secretary there, sir. So you can imagine, many of us have low self-esteem. We compare ourselves with the best boys. I am not so good. I am not the topper. I am not the first rank holder. Remember that there are any number of instances in human history. And never allow anyone to underestimate you, give you any negative remark, talk about you in a negative way. Do you remember when Edison, when he was a schoolboy, one day he brought a closed envelope from the school and gave it to his mother. Mother opened that, read the letter and told Edison, "My son, the school authorities say that you are too small for that school, you have to shift to another school." He went to study in another school. You know the enormous amount of discoveries which Alva Edison made. He became world famous. His mother passed away. Long after that, one day he was rummaging the drawers of his mother. He saw an old envelope and a letter in which the school authorities had written, "Your son is so useless and restless, you please take him away from the school, we can't keep him." If only his mother had believed what the school authorities had said, we would not have had an Alva Edison today. So, you know, when you read Swami Vivekananda, you will find every page is full of inspiration. Every page is full of positive encouragement. He had enormous hope in the youth of his country. He said that the future glory of India would far surpass its past glory, and in that task, he wanted the youth of India at the forefront. He wanted them to come forward. So remember that your life, your achievement, your wealth, your comfort, your life doesn't stop there. You have to go beyond. Think of the countrymen. Think of the larger interest of the nation. Why? It is in your own interest. Supposing you live in an area, you live in a palatial building, but you are completely surrounded by dirt, squalor, illiteracy, and so on. Can you live peacefully there? Every day you will be under threat. People are going to occupy my house. So remember that if we have to grow, you have to take others along. When you read Swami Vivekananda, somehow or other, if that inspiration, you know, it catches fire in your heart, you will mold your life differently. So having come to this institution, staying there 3 years, please do not go empty-handed. Take some of that life-giving, extraordinary, inspiring messages of Swami Vivekananda. Mold your life. It's not enough if you do well in academics, and quite often doing well in academics might not land you anywhere in life, or even if you get a good job, you might not be able to handle it unless you know the mechanics of life, how to handle life. So Swami Vivekananda says, education should prepare the students to face the challenges of life. That is the primary aim of education. It's not enough to get marks or a degree. You should be able to face the challenges of life. That should empower you. That should make you stand on your own feet. Don't just look only for ordinary jobs. Think big, dream big, think of India, think of the country as a whole. Surrender that kind of a little selfish interest to larger interests of the nation. Hold Swami Vivekananda as an ideal of your life. Be inspired by him and go on and lead a great life. Thank you.